Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Wednesday, October 20th. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, TROT, Wham, Skee Profit momentarily as well. We're here for a Wednesday NBA card that is absolutely loaded. 11 games on tap on this Wednesday slate. We got a little taste of the NBA last night with Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Impressive win for the Bucks, dismantling the Nets last night. No revenge offered by the Bucks to the Nets. Very impressive. And the Golden State Warriors with a great fourth quarter. They were trailing most of the game. But fourth quarter put their best foot forward. And like I say, the new look Laker roster, that's where their issues are going to be, right? Late in games, close games, execution with new faces. Chemistry's a little bit out of sync right now. And we saw that play out to perfection, really, at the end down the stretch. Warriors making all the shots. Warriors getting all the stops. Warriors out-rebounding the Lakers down the stretch as well. Some of those key possessions that were up for grabs, and there's the Warriors getting the loose ball, not those big, tall trees of the LA Lakers. So there's another thing to worry about, but very exciting night, opening night NBA action. Before we get into the card, just briefly, Dutch, what did you think of the two games we saw last night?
Yeah, man. It's West Coast Wednesday. And let's get it back. The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. First off, salute to the chat, the real ones. Everybody out there in Wi-Fi land. You already know it's all love. Take a quick minute. Hit the motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane of wedding pie. Get you right where you need to be. Believe that. I'm glad. Thank you for Mr. Late Skee to joining us. Appreciate you, bro. But last night, man, it was a rough one to say the least from a side perspective. When I had one bet last night on the side, and it was the Nets, and it was obviously the wrong fucking side. They didn't show up at all. Did get the KD over 30.5. We were able to get that taken care of. Luckily, I actually got that. So I was happy we got the freshest look taken care of. James Harden finished with 8 assists. We beat the number by 2 fucking assists, 8.5. And he finishes with 8. Didn't even play the last 5.5 minutes. Welcome back. That's one thing we don't miss. We all love the motherfucking NBA, but we do not miss them blowouts to kill our props. I know that. Props to the Castle that were on the Bucks. Joe Harris did hit the over 2.5 threes, even money. It was lovely with that. But really, that late night game kind of killed my vibe. It was a big day for me yesterday. But damn, them Lakers, bro, it was cool. It was kind of reverse. I said that they would step up in the third or fourth quarter. It was the other way. I seen the Warriors actually late third. And then the fourth become to show that they were the better team last night. Lost the over 17.5 with Russ. Not very happy with the way I seen him. And like I mentioned to you guys off camera, I haven't seen Russ look like that since the UCLA days. Like, if that's what they're planning on doing with Russ, that shit ain't going to last long. I don't want to overreact too much, but I did not like what I seen from Russell Westbrook last night. And really just the whole Lakers squad. But LBJ looked ready to go. He just couldn't do it all by himself. AD had a good game too. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to the big slate we have tonight and hopefully get back in the black.
Yeah, AD will get his. LeBron will get his. And what are you going to consistently get from the rest of the assortment of the Lakers? And it's kind of what we saw last night play out. And it's just funny. And I posted the image of it on Twitter, the score app, the stats for the game. And you're seeing -7, -4, -2. A couple guys were plus, the plus-minus for the Lakers. And then there's Russell Westbrook, -28. With him on the floor.
It was even worse in the numbers than it's seen on TV. That's crazy, huh? Yeah. It was bad, bro.
No, that shit looked bad on TV.
Yeah.
No, it did. But -28, come on, bro. When everyone else is like 2, 3, that shit is horrible. He stood the fuck out.
It is pretty bad, but one game. The good news for the Lakers and their fans is one game does not make a season, but you just wish things could have ended differently last night. Skee, who's going to be with us, by the way, Monday, Wednesday, Friday this season on the show. Thoughts on the two games last night? I split 1-1. I had Brooklyn lost, Golden State plus the points won. So with the sides, I went 1-1. What did you think, Skee, from last night?
I got smoked yesterday, so I did not have a good night. I was with Dutch as far as I had a prop on, and I beat the prop by 2 points. Harden assist over 8.5, ends up at 10.5. But blowouts where props go to die.
Yes.
And
first game of the year, and we were dealing with this shit already, where the blowouts just kill a prop. It's awful,
man.
Yeah, and
I got one for today too. I got one for today to talk about.
I was just bragging on Twitter about I beat it by 2 points only to not win. But
you got to do that after the motherfucking shit hit, bro. God damn it.
But the Nets, the Nets, they're not gonna play enough defense. Giannis looks like he still wants to get better, and the Bucks are still going to be a problem in the East. Maybe they're a little undervalued on the futures market. That's kind of what I was thinking about when I was watching that game. And as far as the Lakers, it took me back to the day Russell Westbrook, they actually made the trade where I was not happy, to say the least. So that's how I was feeling when I was watching that game. If you ever heard me talk about him like that, that's pretty much how I felt. But good game by Golden State. They have some depth, and they should be in the playoffs this year.
I was impressed with Nemanja Bjelica for the Warriors. What a game he had. Double-double, very impressive. Billy, shout out to him. I mean, triple-double for Steph last night as well for the Warriors. Great performance. In terms, not necessarily shooting. Actually didn't shoot the ball well, but he did the intangibles. I like to see that from Steph. Get those rebounds. Facilitate the offense. Don't be scared to pass and use your teammates. And he was able to do that last night for the Warriors. And it's not always about shooting for him. To see him do some other things, it was good, I think, if you're a Warrior fan. What do you think, Trot Wham, of the games last night?
Yeah, it was a good night for me. Went 2-0. We had the AD over 23.5 points, 24.5 points. Double dipped on that and came out successful. I went to my cousin's house who was watching the game and asked me what bet did I make. And I was like, was I on the Lakers? I'm like, nah, I don't trust the Lakers. But I am on AD, and sure enough, he did what he had to do, looking like an MVP candidate. But like Dutch said, LeBron looked it well. LeBron looked it good. I mean, we can talk about the positives about the Lakers too. It's game one, guys, so it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, Russ did look hella suspect. Definitely not good to see there. In the other game, it looks like Kyrie is missed. Looks like Kyrie is missed. So that's how I would look there as far as the Brooklyn game. It's crazy to see how motivated these Bucks are. We could definitely talk about that. That's something that I think Jimmy spoke on earlier. But that's how I looked at those two games. Those games was pretty much good to see for Golden State. See all those young guys get developed, and still be able to play. Jordan Poole looked good, just like we predicted as well. Jordan Poole looked well, and shout out to Billy as well with the Steph look. Steph looked it perfect on the got the triple double, but the points and the rebounds, what he said, it actually panned out. So shout out to Billy there as well. But long card tonight, y'all. Long card tonight. We got a long way to go.
No doubt. We've got a big card, and the word brevity is going to come to mind for yours truly. I can't be going on for 10 minutes on every game. We'll be here till midnight. That's not.
Man. I don't got enough weed for all that today now.
Exactly. We got to keep it nice and short, sweet, to the point. And we're going to start right now. Indiana, Charlotte, first game on this Wednesday night NBA card. We have a flip of favorites here. Charlotte was a 2-point home favorite. Now Indiana won on the road, 222.5. The totals also crashed down, 228.5 down to 222.5 in this game. I am not involved in the total. I am involved in the side, and I'm on the side of the line move here. I don't see Charlotte getting better in the offseason. I'm not impressed with what they did in the offseason. Devontae Graham gone. I don't think they really improved that team markedly. Whereas I look at Indiana on the flip side, and I see a team that's got a whole boatload of room for improvement this year, a team that underachieved last year. There was clearly a disconnect with the players and with Nate Bjorkgren. That was a bad hire. Didn't work out for him with the Pacers. And now you bring in a coach in Rick Carlisle who's respected, who's done a great job with Dallas, and that every year Dallas is consistent. They're a winning team. They're in the playoffs. That's what you got from that Rick Carlisle Dallas Mavericks team over the years. He brings that now to Indiana. He's going to try to instill some better defense with this group. I like that they've got Cam. We talked about the Lakers last night. A lot of new faces. Not so much with the Pacers. This is a very experienced starting five. They've played together. They've been together for a while now. So you're not going to have that early season lack of chemistry with this group. Give me the Pacers here to win the game, even though with the line move now to pick them -1. I think Pacers can get the road win. I think they're the better of these squads at the moment and will have the better season this year. Skee, we'll start with you. Pacers, Hornets.
Yeah, I just start off by saying a lot of how I cap NBA is recent performance. So it's going to be a little bit different capping this week. And then by next week, every team should be closer to playing about 5 games and they'll be back to normal as far as how I cap. So in this game, I tend to agree with what you said, Ian. Charlotte lost a couple guys. I know Wham thinks it doesn't really matter as much, but Devontae Graham, Malik Monk. I look at Indiana, major upgrade with Carlisle, and they just have everybody back. It's like the same consistency for this team that they've had for previous years. And as long as the guys are playing, I saw a lot of people were game time decision. Let's see if I can hit the refresh here. I saw Brogdon and Holiday on the report. I want those guys in for sure. And if they are, I would like Indiana.
We've got game time decisions. I'm hearing good things about Brogdon and Holiday in particular, that there's a good chance. Yeah, Brogdon's probable now. Holiday's still questionable, but Brogdon's definitely going to be in. And it looks like Holiday as well. They're thinking he's in, but he's still questionable. And then Lamb as well, questionable for the Pacers. And of course, Karis LeVert, TJ Warren, those guys are out to begin the year. But still, nevertheless.
One question for you guys that are going after me. Who stops Domantas Sabonis tonight?
Oh, your guess is as good as mine with that.
I wasn't going after you, bro.
No, that's not happening.
I'm actually tag team.
right. Triple tag team. What are you talking
Mason
about?
Plumlee ain't doing it.
The Heartbreak Kid coming in. Yeah, man. Hey, real quick, though, shout out to our boy Robert Cherry. It's his birthday today. He's in the 40-40 club, 40 today. Happy birthday, my guy. This was for you, my guy. For sure. Yeah. You want me to take it away? I'm ready to go, Ian.
Just one last thing. Rozier is questionable for Charlotte.
Okay.
That's their biggest concern tonight.
Yeah. I seen that was late.
Yeah. Dutch, go ahead.
All right, my man. Yeah. Real quick. Hey, MMA locker room talking shit, man. Bro, all them filters you be using, bro. Come on now. You should never talk about another man's look. Believe that. Come on now.
Filters, bro.
Yeah, fresher than a motherfucker looking like. Come on.
Some things are off limits. That's why.
Hey, and the lights is bright, so you already know. But yeah, real respect to everybody in the chat, though. I appreciate everybody in there, man. So big happy birthday to Robert Cherry. But yeah, when it comes to this game, real quick, I'm not gonna go too much on the sides because Skee said I want to see a little more. I got a little cute last night with the Nets and shouldn't have done it. So I would look the Pacers if you have to bet the game. I think they're just simply the better team. But I like Mikal Bridges. The one thing that scared me away from this prop is his knee. He's going to play, but he did bang his knee, something a little bit with his knee. He looked real good in the preseason. Last two meetings against these guys, averaging 23 and 9 against the Pacers. I like Mikal Bridges. You know he's good for one or two fucking dunks on it. He's going to put somebody on a poster. But overall, I like his game. He's aggressive. I like it in the matchup. Like I mentioned, the numbers saw it's over 21.5 points, rebounds. I like it, but I'm switching up a little bit on my props. It's minus 118. So if you guys can find a better number and if I can look after, I'll tweet it out. But I'm not laying anything more than minus 110 unless it's fucking amazing. Like I thought the James Harden was 8.5 minus 120, and look what happened. But we're getting better numbers on props, so I'm not trying to lay all that juice, especially when I'm going to be betting props on a daily. So I would look Mikal Bridges if you can get the numbers, points and rebounds. He should load up. You got to bet the game from a side perspective. I think Pacers are a better coached team and just simply a better team.
All right, good stuff. Trot Wham, what do you like here? Indiana, Charlotte.
Yeah, I probably would stay away from the side just because of the questionables and the injury report. But as far as like the player, I think LaMelo got room without those other two guards that they got rid of, Monk and Devontae Graham. So I think the over 6.5 assists is possibly a good look there. He averaged 6 assists with those guys, so I'm only expecting him to have an uptick there. That's the only way I look to bet this game, bro. But I haven't locked it in yet. It's probably not going to make my card publicly, but I'm going to put some money on it though for sure.
All right, little lean at least to LaMelo Ball definitely. Over 6.5 assists for Trot Wham with this game. All right, we move on now. Next up,
LaMelo.
Yeah, exactly. Chicago, Detroit. Chicago Bulls 5-point road favorites, 218 the total. Anybody in the world not like Chicago to be better this year? I mean, everybody you talk to, Bulls loving right now. And look, there's a lot to be excited about with this Bulls team. I don't doubt that. You look at the scoring that they're going to have now. Lonzo Ball brought in, Zach LaVine, outstanding year. They bring in DeMar DeRozan, of course, in the offseason. I think a full year. He didn't get really settled in fully last year, but Nikola Vucevic, I think a full year of him at the 5 spot for the Bulls will be a good thing for them. And, of course, Kobe White, who's not even going to play tonight. Wait till you get him back on the floor. Certainly offensively capable. Can Billy Donovan's group shore up defensively is going to be their key. Detroit, obviously, we're going to have to, unfortunately, when you look at it, wait for Cade Cunningham to make his debut, the number 1 overall pick for the Pistons in this past year's draft, as he's out with an ankle injury tonight. So it's unfortunate. You would have liked to have seen him suit up here in the opener, but not going to happen. A lot's going to fall. The prop that I like here is because we bet this guy a lot last year. He's going to have to continue to do a lot offensively for this Pistons team, and that's Jeremy for the Detroit Pistons. No question about that. For first player prop on the card for me tonight is this one for him, especially when you look at the fact that, you've got some question marks offensively around him. His point prop is 21.5 right now. I think Jeremy Grant, especially in a home opener type of situation, get over that point total tonight, 21.5. Look, I like Chicago a lot, but can we watch this team play a game together first before we rush to lay 5? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at here. I like Chicago too. I'm very high on Chicago, but I'm also thinking the Pistons, might be a little sneaky ATS moneymaker this year as well. And I'm looking to back the Pistons in spots. Not doing it tonight. I'm passing side and total in this game, but I just want to see Chicago play a game, look good before I'm ready to lay 5. The only bet for me on this game is that Jeremy Grant prop over 21.5 points. What do you think here, Skee, Bulls and Pistons?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to play this game at all, but Bulls expected to win by margin on the road. Not something I'm really into right now. Like I kind of got to see it a few times, like you said, Ian. And Kobe White is out. I think, who's really scoring on their bench? I think their bench is going to struggle, put some points up, and the starting lineup, not really that much to like defensively. So I got to see it. Make me a believer if you want me to expect you to win by margin on the road. So I'll just watch this game.
Yeah, Laker fans know Alex Caruso well, and he's now on this Bulls team. Will help them. They're hoping he helps defensively. He definitely should, but you're right. That's where they've got to improve. Where's the offense? You're right, though, from that bench. There's question marks all over the place, when you're looking at it. What are you going to get from the rookie, Ayo Dosunmu? You look Troy Brown, Derek Jones, Javonte Green. I mean, there's some sketchy offensive options on that Bulls bench, and we'll see if they can, if you're going to put that bench lineup out there, if you're Donovan, you want to see them produce for you to give those starters a rest. And I don't know if you've got a ton of weapons to go or options to go to offensively on that bench just yet. They'll have to see if some guys develop throughout the course of the year. What do you think here, Dutch, with Chicago, Detroit?
Yeah, shout out to our guy Razor, Danny Betts, our guy Tease. He likes the Pistons +5. Like I said, I'm not on too many sides. If you want it from a side perspective, I probably would take the points at home, but I'm right with you. The one bet I do have on this game is a prop, Ian, and it's Jeremy Grant over 21.5. I got that even money, fits right into what I like. You mentioned it a little bit, but he's the go-to guy. He's it's preseason, but he's topped them in points every single game in the preseason. He's still the best player on the team. He's the guy who's going to take the most shots, especially even with Cade in or out, but definitely with him not in. He'll definitely get the majority of the shots. I look for him to attack in matchups with Patrick Willis, DeRozan, whoever you want to put on him. They can't fuck with him. And he's averaged 36 his last 2 meetings versus Chicago. So 21.5, easy. Looking for 25+ from Jeremy Grant. I'm right with you, Ian. Got even money on that too. That's my only play on this game.
Yeah, I think it's a good one for sure. Trot Wham, Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah, the only way I would look to this game is probably what my guy Razor is saying right here, the under, most likely just the under there. That's probably the only play I'll put on here, but it's kind of trappy. I think 90% of the money's coming in on the Bulls there. It's just like Ian said, a lot of people love the Bulls, kind of want to stay away from it. So that's the only way I'm looking.
All right, we move to Washington and Toronto. The Raptors are finally back north of the border, home surroundings. It'll be good to see that. Should be a good environment down there at Scotiabank Arena. Toronto 2.5 point home favorites, 223.5 being the total here in this game. Washington Wizards, of course, coming into the year. They've got some key cogs. Bryant's still not ready to come back. Thomas Bryant, remember, he was one of the injuries held over from last year. He got hurt. Still not ready to return yet for Washington tonight. Rui Hachimura is also going to be out for them. For the Wizards tonight, they're looking at a starting 5 of Spencer Dinwiddie running the point, Bradley Beal in the backcourt, and then you've got Caldwell Pope, Kuzma, And then Gafford, Daniel Gafford at the 5 spot for the Wizards tonight, expected to be their starting 5. It's not a strong bet for me, but given the situation, the Raptors are playing their first home game in forever. I expect them to be fired up. I expect the crowd to really be feverish tonight, excited to welcome this team back to the friendly confines of TO, the 6, once again. So I think Toronto here. I'm going to go money line. When you're talking about -2.5 point home favorites, I usually will go money line instead. You can get it at -135 to -140 with the Raptors money line. I'll probably go with that instead. I think they got it. You're going to see a pretty good effort. Very young team, but after some worry that Goran Dragic wasn't going to want to be here, apparently he settled in and be a good example for the younger players here in training camp. Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Kem Birch, your starting 5. They will be without Pascal Siakam, at least for the opener tonight, this Raptors team. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Again, I think the Wizards could be an improved basketball team. The Raptors, they're always going to be well prepared, well coached, very energetic, very good defensively, lots of length, athleticism, good defensive team this could be. This is an under team, in my opinion, this year as well. So, it's Washington's always been that team. And Skee, we talked about it last year. All of us did on this show, how difficult it is to bet Washington under the total. But I think Toronto is definitely going to be an under team where they're going to be a pretty solid defensive team, but they might struggle to find offense and scoring on a lot of nights. So for me, just a small play Toronto here in this one, with this being their return home, which should have them fired up for a good performance. What do you think, Skee, Wizards and Raptors?
Yeah, I disagree a little bit with you here. I get it. It's the Raptors' first home game in like 2 years or a little bit over, however long it's been a long time. But I don't know. Just looking at the two squads together, like the Wizards lineup is pretty solid. As you guys know, I'm not a big Russell Westbrook fan, so I don't care if they really lost him. Dinwiddie, I like Dinwiddie. Bradley Beal, KCP, I'm a fan of him. Kuzma, he's a guy who has something to prove, and Gafford. So they still got guys out there, even though they're missing Hashimura and Bryant. And I don't know. I just think that they can score with the Raptors. I don't see a lot of defense from this Raptors side. Like I disagree that they're going to be a real good defensive team. I know Washington would probably still like to play up tempo, and Washington's going to win games by outscoring teams. So I'll lean Washington here plus the points if I have to take a side. And more so, I like the over. I just don't see either team stopping anybody. Like VanVleet, Dragic, I feel like how many is Bradley Beal going for tonight? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it could be. Definitely Bradley Beal, the one. And Bradley Beal's had some big nights even against better Raptor teams. So that's a concern. I think there is some hope for Washington. I honestly do. It's just situationally, I like this. I like this for Toronto. And it's definitely a correlated game. I think if the Raptors win and cover, it's under. If the Wizards win and cover, it's probably going to go over the total. What do you think here, Dutch?
Oh yeah, man. My first look at this though be like, I don't know, man. Really, this is not a game I want to bet on at all. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to see Scotty Barnes play. I told you I'm high on the Wizards as a team I think we can make some money on eventually. I would like Hachimura and Bryant to be back though. But I'm gonna look and see if Kyle Kuzma is the guy. I think he could get some points for us and take advantage of him in the prop market. But I got to see it first. A lot of questions. But yeah, man, this game to me is not too appealing. It's like some okay weed in a backwood, man. I got strong pass for me. Strong pass.
Strong pass. Nothing wrong with strong pass on the first full night of the NBA season.
Can't do it.
First big card of the season, you don't have to go crazy with it. That's what I always say.
No, shout out to MMA Locker Room, bro. I know it wasn't a diss. I think he just hit me up, man. I know it's all love, bro. I'm just fucking with you. You said a beastie boy. I put it back, bro. It's all love, man. Breaking your balls.
All right, Trot Wham, you like anything here? Washington and Toronto?
I was going Toronto. I was thinking like you, Ian. Not just because it was their first home game, though. I was just thinking that they're probably the better defensive team that's going to play here. As much as you guys talk about them scoring, Washington scoring all these points, this is a new team we're talking about right here, guys, and it's still Scotty Brooks, the coach, right? They still got the same coach there. He could probably get out coached tonight. So I'm just, that's the way I was thinking here, but I'm not taking a bet here. Like my guy Dutch said, probably not a backwood pass type here, but I'll stay away from it.
You hit
bro.
that backwards. See, he's like, I might
I'll
play
stay away
that
from it.
bitch.
Nah, I don't smoke backwards, bro. You feel me? I'm just saying, I'll stay away from it.
No,
I'll stay away from it.
No. Scotty Brooks is with Portland. Actually, he's with
Yeah, that's what I was
Portland.
taking away.
Okay.
Scotty Brooks is
There you
long
go.
gone
Scotty
now.
Brooks
There
is
you go.
gone. Yeah, it's
There you
Wes
go.
Unseld who's the
See,
head coach right now.
I ain't even tapped in,
Lot of
bro. I wasn't
questions.
on this one. Yeah, I wasn't on this game at all.
Yeah, that's it's
Told you it's a
nothing wrong
backwood,
with
bro.
that. Yep, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I like the Raptors here at home in this one. But again, it's just the situational thing. I do think there's gonna be good things ahead for Washington. Next game we got Boston and New York. New York 1.5 point home favorites here, 216.5 the total in this game. I've bet Boston here plus 1.5. I'm putting it to the test right away that the Knicks just won't duplicate the regular season. I think that they had last year. There was some concern too. Jaylen Brown, among others, would they be available for the Celtics team tonight? But he will play tonight for the Celtics. So it'll be Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and the two Williams, Grant and Robert, in the starting five for this Celtics team. Evan Fournier comes in on this Knicks team. Good 3-point shooter. Doesn't give you much other than that. Kemba Walker, injury problems. Very, very weird how it seems like last year his defense went down. Streaky shooter, and at times he couldn't make anything. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn sometimes in games last year, Kemba. So, I've got some questions about how good he's truly going to make the Knicks now that he's there. The Celtics team, I think that after last year, it was a little bit disappointing. Some change, of course, in the front office, change, of course, with the coaching staff as well for the Boston Celtics this season. We'll see if that leads to better things. It takes guts for, Brad Stevens to say, you know what, going to step away from the coaching thing, be the GM, be more of the player personnel guy. And, of course, now they're going to turn to Ime Udoka now as the head coach here with the Celtics. We'll see how this goes. But to me, I like the Celtics here. Plus 1.5. You can go money line. If you think they win if you're taking them plus 1.5. But to me, there's too much basketball roulette that went right for the Knicks last year. Even some of their defensive numbers. I'm reading how they're the best 3-point defense or one of the best last year, but yet opposing teams missed, more wide open threes against the Knicks than other teams. So the problem is they did maybe give up more uncontested shots than it looked like based on their defensive stats. If they do that again, you're not really going to get away with playing basketball roulette again like they did last year. They're a good defensive team, but I don't think at the incredible level we saw last year. So we'll have to wait and see. But to me, I like the Celtics a little bit here, plus 1.5 in this game. Yeah, the matchup with Randall, we'll see from the Celtics. But the Celtics seem to get more out of these guys that have been the big guy position. The 5 spot's been a problem for the Celtics in terms of quality, at times in the last couple of years. But it seems like they get these guys to play, above their heads a little bit. It's going to be tough, obviously, with the matchup here. But I think the Celtics can still get the job done. Knicks concerns that not going to be able to completely keep up what they were able to accomplish last year. What do you think here, Skee? Celtics, Knicks?
Yeah, it's just similar to how I feel about that Pacers game. Like I bet the Pacers win total. I bet the Celtics win total. And I bet against the Knicks as far as the win total goes as well. So I might just let it play out like for game one, just watch these teams and see if we can get a win that way. But if I'm going to play it, I have to go for Boston. I don't think the Knicks got any better. I mean, I think Kemba, like I say, is a downgrade. Fournier, I don't think he's that great. Like, I don't know. I don't see what's really to like from this New York Knicks roster. And the Celtics, we keep talking about teams coming back with the same, this might not be the right word, consistency or however you want to say, like they've been together for a while. So I would be playing with the Celtics on this game.
Great home record, no doubt. 18 of their last 21 at home they've covered, this Knicks team. So, but that, again, those are all last year's numbers. You do have some new faces. Derrick Rose, is he going to have a great year? This guy, I gave him everything you could ask from him last year. But is he going to be able to be, are you going to get Emmanuel quickly, to be as good as he was for extended stretches last year for the Knicks? So that's the question mark. You got just this above, and even Randall, just an incredible year for him out of nowhere. Is he going to be able to keep that up for a second full season now? 82-game season now, too, as well. So keep that in mind now. The long grind of an NBA season, you got to show you can keep that up for 82 games with some of these guys on the Knicks. We'll see. Dutch, what do you think here? Boston, New York.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because I knew all three of you guys are gonna be on the Celtics, and I wanna bet the Knicks. I really do. I think they're the team that is
Fading
gonna
us.
What's that?
Fading us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that they're gonna simply they're gonna be like last year, man. They're a team that you're gonna get a lot out of in the mid season. Like regular season. I feel this. I feel like. I don't know if I'm going to bet this, and this is the reason why I haven't bet it yet. Simply is because the backcourt of New York. I don't know. Like Skee said, he doesn't think they got better. I sure as hell know they didn't get better from a defensive aspect. Your starting 1 and 2 is going to be fucking Kemba Walker and Fournier. I mean, goddamn, they're going to walk around that dude. Either one of them. That's horrible. They do get stronger in the back end with Mitchell Robinson coming back. Looks like he's going to be healthy. Julius and RJ, they can hold their own. But from a backcourt perspective, from a defensive end, from defense, that's just horrible if you ask me. I do think they'll be able to spread the court a lot better, and they do got D Rose coming off the bench. I like Quickly, but I just feel like from a coaching perspective, like they just got it. They got Burke. I'm a lot of questions with the Stevens moving up. And then, Undo, or however the fuck you say dude's name, from San Antonio, Popovich's guy coming over. Like, I think he's going to be solid, but I don't know yet. Now, also, Jaylen Brown with the COVID coming back. Remember Jason Tatum? He was slow as fuck coming back, saying they're going to have an inhaler on the side. I don't know if I want to bet that because I was looking at him from a proper perspective because I'm a big Jaylen Brown guy. I don't know. He might be huffing and puffing 3 minutes into the game. That's a big question to me. I don't want to put my money on that. But what I do want to bet, and what I have bet, is RJ Barrett. I believe he, has to show that he is the second best player on this team. I know Boston with Marcus Smart. He's a starting point guard. I mean, they got Jaylen Brown, Tatum. Now they're starting Grant Williams and Robert Williams. Pretty big, but I think that he could take advantage of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, really, from a defensive perspective. RJ Barrett has to knock down the open jumpers, but he needs to be aggressive overall. Now, the last 3 meetings versus Boston, he's averaging 23 points a game, and he's shooting around 60% from the field. So he's getting what he wants. Like I mentioned, just be aggressive. They're expecting big things from RJ Barrett. I think he just needs to be aggressive, control the pace, go to the hole, attack, and like I mentioned, hit them open shots because he's going to be open in the corner for a couple easy ones. But I definitely like RJ Barrett over 16.5 points. Got this at even money as well, so it fits right into what I'm looking for. I look for him to be somewhere around 20-point scorer this season. If the Knicks want to be where they want to be, which I think, of course, playoff time, Boston is a better team. But to the regular season, these guys are a lunch pail team. Nothing's going to change. They still got the more leadership of the team with Julius coming back, with RJ, with Derrick Rose, and of course the guy who sets the tone, really, their head coach Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, it's the Knicks are one of those enigmas. It's going to be fascinating to see them evolve. Can they maintain the regular season success? And if they make the playoffs, can they move forward and win a series and beyond? Is the big question. But and I'm not sure. When I see Walker and Fournier come into the team, I'm like, wow, I'm not sure you're a better basketball team. That's just the way I see it.
Defensively, it's like, whoa.
No, exactly. Which is where they really hung their hat last year. Was
right.
The defensive end of the court. That was still not a fluid offensive basketball team for Tibbs last year, but the defense won them so many of their games. And it's probably going to be worse this year. What do you think, Trot Wham? Celtics, Knicks?
Yeah, I think the Celtics got worse, bro. Kemba Walker is one I keep talking about when I bring up the Celtics, but I'll just leave it at these guys don't have the same shooting that they had last year with them losing out Bullock. I think Bullock is a real bad loss for them. I don't think they're going to play well. I think this Celtics team is being undervalued, man. You know what I mean? And it's starting to show. It showed already with the future market. Starting to show right now in the first game. So I think this is a good chance to hop right on the Celtics, just like you said, Ian. Putting that to the test tonight. And I believe we will have the best player when we think of the Celtics in this game. So we will have Jason Tatum here. We probably had a second best player as well with Jaylen Brown, even though my guy think he got COVID and shit like that. Man, go talk that negativity somewhere else, brother. He's gonna play well tonight. I think he's playing well tonight. Yeah, no, I feel what you said though. You're talking real shit, bro. I'm just fucking around. But nah, like I think he's gonna play well, and I think the Celtics is the right spot. I like the culture, even though it was kind of trouble in the first year coach suspending or pretty much not allowing Marcus Smart to get on the plane. He missed the some type of he has some sort of like ideology that he writes down, and he missed up one of them. And okay, so I think that's going to be interesting to watch this season. I think he may be setting the tone for the culture, and it might be good for this team, bro. And I think they got a breathing room without Kemba and without Kyrie for these young kids. So I think they're going to ball out. And Robert Williams got paid, and he balling out. He balling out tonight against Mitchell Robertson today for sure. I think that's the case.
All right, one question, Ian, for all you guys, since everybody, so big on the green besides me, is who's gonna play make? Who's gonna get share the ball? Like, I mean, Marcus Smart, I think, did average 5 assists last year, but come on, man, he's not a starting point guard in the NBA.
A lot of guys.
You watch the Celtics, Dutch? Yeah. I mean, Jaylen Brown and Tatum take turns. They just getting the baskets.
Take a turn going to the hole. It's ISO, baby. That's it.
Hey, they don't need a point guard if that's the case. That's the problem. They didn't want Kemba Walker over there dribbling the ball all over the place.
How good was Boston last year?
He was not making good decisions.
How good was Boston last year, Skee? Wow. They were a fade at the end of the day.
COVID.
Oh, God. Now he's throwing the COVID card. Like the referee card. Oh, shit. Next.
Nah, I mean, all year long, didn't they have like Tatum out with COVID, somebody else out with COVID?
And you go right back to the window with the COVID shit right now because Horford got the COVID, and Jaylen Brown's out there talking about, I can't breathe, I can't fucking breathe. Come on, man. So, hey, Knicks is the play. Knicks is the motherfucking play. Yeah, man.
Should be. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how this all plays out because you're right. The Celtics. Yeah, there's a lot of questions, but I just think it's going to be hard for the Knicks to duplicate what they did. You're right. I'm not like in love with Boston, but I'll take them as an underdog here against a Knicks team that I think will show regression. We'll see how it goes. Cleveland and Memphis. We've got Memphis 7.5 point home favorites, 218 the total. Keep an eye on Cleveland. I do think there's some things to like if they've got coming into this year and throughout the course of the year, they maintain that backcourt. They stay healthy with Garland, Darius Garland, and Colin Sexton. They obviously drafted Evan Mobley, third overall, shore up the front court. Jared Allen. Okoro. The Cleveland's putting some things together. I'm going to want to see them play, though, first. And the one thing that Skee, I remember, mentioned this last year, Cleveland on the road, Cleveland as a road underdog, it wasn't very pretty if you were going to back the Cavaliers in that point spread role last year. So tonight, this is just, I think there's potential for Cleveland to be improved. Hopefully JB Bickerstaff doesn't mess it up because sometimes he's capable of doing that. But I think there's some things to like a little bit with what Cleveland's done in the offseason. But, Ricky Rubio comes in as well, Lauri Markkanen as well. Rubio, I could take a pass on Rubio, to be honest. But Markkanen, I think, not a bad addition for this team. What do we get from Memphis is going to be the big question. Memphis has been one of those teams that they've been right on the edge of making or missing the playoffs in the Western Conference for the last couple of years. And we'll see if they can take a greater step forward this year. Will end up being the big question. A lot of the same faces from last year. Of course, Valanciunas is gone, but John Morant, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Jaren Jackson, who you're going to hope finally is healthy and stays healthy for them. Desmond Bane as well. They draft Zaire Williams as their top draft pick, 10th overall. And again, they add Steven Adams for a little bit of low post depth and a little bit of muscle in the paint. Which was, I think, good veteran center. It's good to have that, especially with Valanciunas out. So, Memphis is an intriguing team to me. But just as I talked about Cleveland as a road underdog or on the road in general, tough to back them. It was also tough to lay moderate to big points with Memphis last year as well. But if I had to, I'd lean Cleveland. But I want to see this Cavalier lineup for the first game, see what they put together. So it's just to lean Cleveland. I will not be getting involved. What do you think here, Skee? Cleveland, Memphis.
I bet this game too. Last year, I feel like in most years I do better on totals than I do on sides, and I definitely noticed it during the playoffs last year. So, and day one I got smoked betting all sides. So today I'm coming back with all totals. This one I bet the under, and what I was looking at here was both. I mean, I have to go off last year's stats and just kind of how the roster has been shaping out because I don't have recent performance. But last year, both bottom 10 and 3-point percentage, with Cleveland being dead last. And I just look at both teams situationally. Grizzlies at home, under was 23 and 15. And on the on the flip side, when they're on the road, they had a record way more towards the over. Cavs road unders 22 and 14. Same thing with them. I think it was more like 19 and 16 to the over when they were at home. And Cavs, they play a little bit slower. They were bottom 5 in pace last year. Grizzlies, they were top 10, but they also are a great defensive team. So I don't think we see that many points here. And if the Grizzlies are winning by margin, they're most likely just holding Cleveland down. They're not scoring that many points. So under 218.5 was the play I played here.
All right, liking the under with the Cavs and the Grizz. How about you, Dutch?
Well, I hate to call this game a backwood because my guy got action on him, but that's really what I do think about this game, man. I like John Morant. I think Grizzlies are a gritty team. Brooks is out though, so But I think my guy Wham got a little love for the Cavs too. So yeah, I'll just soak up the knowledge and see what I can see tonight too as well.
All right, Trot Wham, Cleveland and Memphis.
Yeah, I got love for the Cavs, bro. That's for sure. I do like the addition to Lauri Markkanen. We talked about it on the preview. And as far as the Cavs in the general long term, I think they're going to be good. But this is a grind city spot to me. I think in the first half, Memphis take the first half, come out scorching. They have the better players. They have one of the best benches in the NBA last year. I think they have the same guys coming back. They kind of got rid of a few of the dust mites, you may say, and shook off some of the jitters there. But I expect Xavier Tillman to be a great bench big coming off the bench for them. Also with Milton, Bane, those guys to make a leap this year as well. So I like their bench. I like the guys that caught Tyrus Jones, those kids. So I think that they could come out and cover the first half just based off of what their bench production. And I think they're going to win the top heavy approach as well with the starter. So I like Cavs though, don't get me wrong, but I just think the first half is the better play. So I took them in at -4 earlier today. That's the play I got right here.
All right, there you go. Memphis there in the first half. Someone in the chat, can I get a shout out for safe sex? Yeah, always. Always
Yeah,
be the
man.
mindset. Yeah. You don't want any little pitter patter of tiny little feet running around.
I was almost worried. I was almost worried about his name pulling that up over the actual comment. So
yeah, you want to avoid those little feet running around your house in a year or two from now. That's how you go about avoiding that situation. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, ask Wham.
Yeah. Little too. We didn't need to know all that, right? We didn't need to know all that. No.
No, I wasn't saying anything like. I was just saying I got kids. That's all I was saying.
Yeah. No, nothing wrong with having kids. It's just how you go about getting to that point. That's the key. Philadelphia and New Orleans. We've got Philadelphia 4-point road favorites here. 224.5 the total. I'm gonna bet here, small bet, but a bet nevertheless. Pelicans +4. Look, they give the Sixers problems. You look at every recent meeting with the 76ers and the Pelicans. Pelicans have done good in this series. 4-0-1 against the spread the last 5 meetings. Last year, 2 meetings. Philly won by 2. Pelicans won the other meeting at home by 7. The year before that in New Orleans, Sixers won by a single point. I mean, the Pelicans have been a thorn in this Sixers side. The one issue and concern for me is that maybe the Ben Simmons suspension is that it gets people to relax a bit. They go out there, play basketball, play focused, have a point to prove. You definitely could see that from the Sixers tonight. But I'm going to go back to what we said a lot last year. Laying points on the road with the Sixers is not the profile that I was crazy about backing this team. It's just not something I'm really interested in doing. And yeah, Zion's out for the Pelicans. But like I said with this group, Stan Van Gundy experiment didn't work. It's obviously where it's a wait and see process to see, how it's going to unfold here with Willie Green now as the head coach of this team. But nevertheless, I thought this team would be improved last year, especially defensively. It didn't totally flamed out for Stan Van Gundy. That's why he's working on TNT with Iron Eagle, last night because it didn't work for him with this Pelicans team. So I think now with this group, everybody's completely off the Pelican bandwagon, which is why I took their win total over. We'll see how it goes. I like the addition of Devontae Graham here with Nickeil Alexander, while Brandon Ingram, who is obviously, I think, the best player they've got. I'll put him right there with Williamson, to be honest, as best player on this team. Brandon Ingram been very good for this Pelicans group. Valanciunas, they bring him in for a little bit more offense as well. The Sixers, Tyrese Maxey, how's he going to do running the point? I actually like Tyrese Maxey over points. I mean, even though I took the Pelicans here +4, I do like Tyrese Maxey over points. Unlike the other point guard that he's replacing, he will shoot the ball from time to time. And I think that's obviously going to be beneficial for the 76ers and make some free throws too. And so he'll be able to do that for this Sixers team. I think he'll play a pretty solid game tonight. And I think he's going to really want to show, Doc and the Sixers, Embiid, and the entire team, the coaching staff, his teammates, that, hey, I can run the point. And I want to put my best foot forward here now that Simmons' days with the Sixers are numbered. So Maxey over points here for the Sixers tonight, although I like the Pelicans here as a home dog getting 4. What do you think here, Skee Profit, with Sixers and Pelicans?
I don't like that. I feel like everybody's taking the Sixers. I just hate that feeling. In general,
I ain't. So there you go. Here's your first guy you've talked to. It's not on the Sixers.
Yeah. If they had Shake Milton, I probably would feel a little bit better. No Ben Simmons, no Milton. I don't know. And then on top of that, you got to lay with them on the road. I think you make great points, Ian. It's just not really a situation that I want to back them. But if there ever was one, it'll be the game where Ben Simmons is not playing and they can just look, we don't even need this guy.
Yeah, I worry about that. That's why it's a small bet. Yeah.
So if I have to play a side right now, I would lean towards Sixers on the first half just for that reason. But I think the better bet even may be the under. I mean, you're going to miss some pace with Simmons. Like I said, they don't have Milton either, and you're going to miss points with Zion. So I just see a lot of points missing from this game. I would lean under. I don't have the best number I can get. I think it was like 225 or somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's 224.5 right now, so it has dropped a little. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would play.
All right, so lean to the under here in this one for Skee. Dutch, what do you like?
Okay, so from the two side games I like today, I haven't placed a bet on either one of them. It was this game and obviously the Knicks game. Shout out to our guy Preston, Ray Charles. Also, MMA Locker Room says best bet is Brandon Ingram over 21.5. I'm not mad at that. I think he's definitely going to – I mean, Big Val's going to get his, but, yeah, I mean, Brandon, without Zion out there, he has to do his thing. But people know I'm not a fan of the Pelicans so far. I'm not a fan of them with Zion out there. I don't believe they have enough shooting, and now I don't think they got better. They lost a lot of weapons. I'm not a big Lonzo guy, but, I mean, you leave him, you lose him and a couple other guys and add Devontae Graham. Like, I'm not a – Devontae Graham, to me, he's just in-betweener. I don't know where you really do with him. If he's knocking down that 3 consistently, that's nice, but when that doesn't really happen too consistently, to be honest. I just don't like the Pelicans from a coaching. I don't know what they got with the new coaching. The GM seems like it's all kind of a lot of questions in that organization. And I think Philly right now, you guys touched on it, without Big Ben Simmons in there, they're going to look to show, hey, we don't need that guy because the kind of attitude he's showing in practice, he don't want to be there. They're going to pretty much say, hey, we don't need him. And they can take advantage of a team that is out without their best player. And I know they don't have Shake Milton out there, but I think Tyrese Maxey probably could be a starting guard for the Pelicans. I think he'll have a good game tonight. I'm not going to place a bet, but props like 14.5. I see that happening easy. I do see a blowout today, very easily. A blowout and could be there. So I'm going to stay away from props, but I believe the team play of the day was Embiid over 10.5, 11 rebounds. I like that as well. He could probably get that in the first half. I was looking at over like 20, it was under 30 for his points. They can't fuck with him. He had 37 last time you seen him. Easy 37. But it could be a blowout, so I'm not going to place a bet here. But I definitely would like the Sixers. It was 3 last night. It's up to 4 now. But I'll be very surprised if the Sixers don't win this game by double digits.
Right. I got to ask you, Dutch. I got to ask.
Come on now. Come with it.
Here we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Is Zion better than Ingram?
No.
Yeah, talk that shit. That shit.
All right. I just had to ask.
I don't believe he is because Ingram can play 82 games. Now, if everything was in paradise and everything was, like what if Zion was 50 pounds lighter and Zion didn't miss half of the fucking games, then I would say Zion Williams. But I would take Brandon Ingram every day of the week simply because he gonna play.
All right. I just had to check. That's all. We good.
There you go. Well, everything's good. No
You
fire.
agree? He's agreeing. Hey, remember that. Mark it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with Embiid. Embiid probably does have a big night. Double, if you want to go, with any Embiid props, I wouldn't talk you out of that. Double for Embiid is -160. If you want to take the plunge for the triple-double, you could. But double -160. Normally, I don't like laying that kind of price on it, but it seems pretty safe, with the Embiid double -160 here tonight. Trot Wham, do you like anything here, Philly and New Orleans?
Yeah, I was expecting Dutch to talk me into the Philly here, man, because he was saying some stuff earlier today. So I was thinking, man, I
think it's
Philly
easy,
written
though,
down, bro. I think
it's
easy money too. I think
the
Philly spot is easy, and what Skee said as well. Maybe they motivated. No Simmons. We're tired of talking about this motherfucker. Let's just get this shit out the way. Let's get rid of him. I don't know, man. It's tough to think about it that way. I haven't bet it yet, but that's the way I was leaning. As far as any props or anything, I couldn't talk you off of that tank player today, like you said, Dutch. That's probably a good look. EB should. I think someone said it as well in the low back chat that he should be a little bit pissed off about the MVP, or maybe it was on another show there. But yeah, man, that's just the only way I think is Philly, man. Philly is the only way I could look here, and I haven't bet it yet though. But that's the way I probably will be.
All right, looking at Philly here for Trot Wham against New Orleans. All right, Houston, Minnesota. We've got the Timberwolves 6.5-point home favorites here, 231.5. The total. This one's gone up here in this game. Just a brutal basketball team last year, Houston, and I don't know if they're going to be that much better. They actually are going to be somewhat capable offensively. Because actually, when you look at this team and their lineup tonight, they're going to have the rookie Jalen Green. Everybody's high on him, and for good reason. I think he'll be good in that backcourt with Kevin Porter, the projected starting point guard. Eric Gordon healthy to start the year. Christian Wood in the 5. That's a good offensive lineup, and they can put up points. And when Porter was on the floor, Houston was a better offensive team. Points per possession, all these numbers got better when he was playing last year for this Houston Rockets team. So I think that's a decent offensive team. But, man, they are a horrible defensive team. Horrible. And they were all of last year, and they might even be worse at that end of the floor this year, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Stephen Silas is an offensive-minded coach anyway, from coming over from Dallas, coaching under Carlisle, and he never got that defense fixed last year, and I think it's going to be more of a problem. Like, you're seeing this team give up 140s, 130s routinely, just like giving out points for free to opponents with how bad they were defensively last year. I'm very high on Minnesota this year. I think this is going to be an improving team. I was able to ride them a little bit late in the year. They were starting to compete in games, win some games, cover a lot of point spreads, and really the team played a lot better. I'm on their win total. I mentioned that in the preview show. The coaching change, I think, was a breath of fresh air for the Timberwolves. Chris Finch, the team played much better when they got him, and he took over as the head coach of this team. They've got Anthony Edwards, I think, will be continue to improve. He had a great rookie year. D'Angelo Russell's healthy to begin the year. Josh Okogie showed me a lot down the stretch. You got Karl Anthony Towns. He's had to deal with a lot on the court, off the court in the last year or two. He's healthy and in a good mindset. Apparently very, very motivated to have a big year for this Timberwolves team. There are two bets I like here. I'm laying the points with the favorite. I think this is a blowout here. I think Houston's awful, one of the worst teams in the NBA, and defensively for sure. I think Minnesota wins by upwards of double digits, and I'm also on this over here. The total's gone up, and it's gone up for good reason, in my opinion. I like the Timberwolves minus the points. I like over 231.5 as well. Skee, what do you like here? Houston, Minnesota.
Yeah, a lot of games today don't really have much intelligent to say about this game other than probably expect points. So that's it for me.
Liking the over as well. It should be a high-scoring game, but I definitely think Minnesota's a team I'll be looking to back this year. Cash some tickets with this T-Wolves team. You could argue, are they ready to lay 6.5? I think against this Houston team they are. I don't think much of the Rockets at all. Dumpster fire is what comes to mind. Dutch, what do you think here? Rockets, T-Wolves.
Yeah, shout out. Excuse me. Shout out to our guy Lucky Power. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, good to see you again. Got a long season of kicking the motherfucking boogie's ass, man. Yeah. But yeah, let's see here. This game, to be honest with you, is a backwood, bro. But I will give you this. I think Anthony Towns should dominate. Look at his props. I couldn't find a juicy like value number. I think they're a little juiced over as minus 120, 115. I don't really want to lay that with everything on the board, but tomorrow we'll look at the stat sheet and Anthony Towns should have around 30. No one can stop him on that Houston team. I'm not mad at that Christian Wood look. I believe Mills had in there over 20 and a half. These guys on Houston, I'm not big on them. Like, I think they're all obviously the rookie, he nice, Porter Jr., but or the other cat they got. But what I'm thinking is Wall and Gordon. These guys are just looking to get moved eventually. These are like trading pieces. So,
well, they've severed ties with Wall. Wall's not even a consideration to play right now for.
Oh,
Houston.
really? Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, So they got Gordon out there. I think he's a trading piece. So I don't know. I think Houston's just a team that's a hot mess, but they do have a little bit of talent. But I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota really does just rout them. See, I don't know too much. I look at Anthony Towns. That was really it. But I know Christian Wood should have a couple good games against Minnesota last year before he got banged up.
Ant-Man too.
Yeah, definitely. Trot Wham, what do you want here?
Yeah, man. I'm looking at this as the Smashbot, honestly, for Minnesota in my opinion, because just like you guys said, Houston probably is not going to be that competitive this year. They're going to continue to be a lottery team for the near future, so you're probably going to be betting against them. And I think this is a good spot for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they did get better over the offseason, even though they only added, Patrick Beverly. I think the second-year guys for Ant Edwards, some of the other role players, they're going to be playing better. Malik Beasley coming off the bench might be helpful for the offense or the bench there. So I think they're just going to be at a 3 level, being able to stop these guys from bench perspective, offensively and defensively. So I just like this team, Minnesota, to come out the first half. I did correlate with my guy Jimmy, though. I was thinking full game here, but I did bet the first half Minnesota. Last year, they were terrible in the fourth quarter last year, from what I remember. I don't want to be on the same trend with that if that continues. So I'm going to take the first half minus 3.5 with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
All right, I like that too. Yes, Minnesota. I think Minnesota just runs away, wins by margin, going when. And I think it's a high-scoring game. And you're right, Patrick Beverly will help. People are saying they'll be improved defensively. Well, a lot of the reason Minnesota will eventually be improved defensively is Beverly, but Beverly's not playing tonight. He's serving that 1-game suspension for that moronic, idiotic display last year in the Western Conference Finals when they lost to the Suns, where he shoved Chris Paul from behind like a thief in the night. Just pushing him.
You'll still see him a lot cheerleader. He's a real good cheerleader, though. He'll still, he'll be out there.
Yeah, he will. He'll be rooting on his new team there, the T-Wolves tonight. Give them some emotional incentive, I guess, and fuel.
Orlando, set a tone, though, when he is in the lineup. He'll set a tone defensively. You're right.
Oh,
Minnesota could be a sneaky team. The West is just so damn heavy.
It is, yeah, and there's no doubt. Like I don't know if they're playoff bound, but they're an improved team, and they'll cash some tickets. They'll be a good ATS team. Orlando, San Antonio. We've got the Spurs 6.5-point home favorites, 212.5 being the total in this game. My thoughts. We just talked about how rough I think it's going to be for Houston. Yeah, I feel the same way about Orlando. It's going to be very, very difficult for them this year, in my opinion. When you look at, Jalen Suggs, we'll see how it goes for him. Obviously, he fell into their lap after the Raptors passed on him and went with Barnes instead. And so the Magic ended up going with Jalen Suggs, form a backcourt duo with Cole Anthony, who again had all kinds of injury problems already in his young career. What are you going to get from this team in terms of the bench? There's not a whole lot of depth there on that Orlando team, in my opinion. San Antonio, it's going to be an interesting look, of course, this year. DeJounte Murray still around, but of course DeMar DeRozan gone. You're going to see Murray, White, the backcourt, McDermott, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl end up being your front court up front. Spurs obviously last year a bit of an up and down, inconsistent year for them, and that's kind of what it's been the last couple under Popovich. We'll see if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to lay 6.5, but I certainly lean a little to the Spurs. It's just for me. Not an Orlando team I'm looking to back. A lot of new faces, a lot of youth, not much depth, not much bench. To be honest with you, I think San Antonio could still cover this game, and I was close to taking them, but it's just a small opinion here. San Antonio minus the points for me. Skee, anything for you? Magic, Spurs?
Yeah, much better games to bet today, in my opinion, but I think Magic are probably the worst team in the league, just my personal opinion. And even still, I don't think the Spurs are that much better. So just expecting the Spurs to win by margin, more than 6 points, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. If I bet on the Spurs and the Magic cover or win, I will feel like an idiot tomorrow. So I pass.
All right, nothing wrong with that. I think this is a spot they should. And if there's one opponent, I think they can win and cover as home favorites, the Spurs. It's tonight. But you're right. They've had an issue with that. I just think Orlando's wretched in terms of this roster. But again, it's dicey sometimes with these teams that aren't good when laying points. And San Antonio's been that way. Almost 200 live views, by the way. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that. If you haven't already, smash that like button. NBA Pub Hub, we're here to serve you guys 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, breaking down every game. I don't think anybody else is doing that, to be honest. Every single game, we're doing that right here on NBA Pub Hub. What do you think, Dutch? Orlando, San Antonio?
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Real Deal Prime. Appreciate the love, man. Yeah, when you like our guy, Big Show, shout out to our guy, Big Show, behind the scenes, doing all the work behind the scenes, man. Like he said, we need a hundo, man. You know, like our guy, Big Boss would say, it's Mando. We need a hundo. That's Mando. We need 100 likes minimum. Come on now. That's all y'all got to do is smash that little quick motherfucker real quick like. All right, this game, it's a backwood.
That's all you got to say. Exactly. Just a
we got too many games, bro. So I could give you some bullshit, but let's just keep it moving.
I ain't about to give you a reason why I like the damn Orlando Magic. It don't make sense, bro. So we can keep it moving.
All right, we'll move on. Here we go. We got 3 games left. Oklahoma City, Utah. Utah 13.5-point home favorites, 221 the total in this game. Man, we've been all of a sudden talking about some of the worst teams in the NBA 3 games in a row. Houston, Orlando, and now you can throw this Oklahoma City team. Oklahoma shitty. That's what the shit.
There you go. There you go.
Oklahoma shitty.
Yeah, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Shout out to
right
people
here
in Oklahoma.
For real.
And I feel bad. Hamilton proud. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, my fellow hometown Hamilton kid, right here in Hamilton, Ontario. But it's going to be a tough year for him and his basketball team. It's just a rebuilding group. It's just that starting 5 just doesn't do anything for me. Luguentz Dort's a good defender, but other than Josh Giddey, Baisley, Isaiah Roby, holy shit, just an absolutely putrid, team. Ty Jerome and Trey Mann. You're looking at Kenrick Williams. Pokasevsky is behind Baisley. How's that going to work out? I don't know. Yeah, Derek Favors and Muscala, the below average bigs. It's just a awful roster. Utah could name their score. If Utah's even mildly interested, the home opener here in that Vivint Arena there in Salt Lake, they could blow the absolute doors off this Oklahoma City team. I think if you like Utah, I haven't bet the game, but I think if you like Utah, maybe first half. There's no reason for them to be flat. It's your home opener. It's your season opener. Why don't you just come right out strong and bury this team early? Because certainly you've got the better roster, and it's not even close, the better team. Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, Rudy Gobert and company. Just come out there and leave no doubt in the first 24 minutes of this game. So I would lean to the first half with Utah. -8 is the current number right now with the Jazz first half. What do you think here, Skee? Jazz, Thunder?
You mute, bro.
You're muted.
My bad. I don't have very much to go off of. And I just have one really terrible team versus one much better, especially regular season team. Last year, Thunder lost games by an average of over 10 points per game.
Yep.
Jazz won by close to 10 points per game. So it's not a game I'm going to play, but the only way I can look to play it is the Jazz, especially at the house. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and you're right. The Thunder last year, you talk about being non-competitive. Other than the final game where they beat the Clippers, and only the Clippers cared, you're seeing them lose by 16 to Utah, 16 to Sacramento. Last year it was just, they were losing by 20 and 30 points, in a lot of games. Just ugly numbers. So, yeah, I want no part of the Thunder. Dutch, what do you like?
Yeah, we appreciate you, Cozy. Yeah, I don't know if someone likes the over in this game. I forgot who just said it, my fault. But yeah, this game, man, I second what you and Skee said. I would only look Utah probably early, often in full game. But prop that did stand out to me. Haven't hit it yet. Just simply because the blowout factor I think is very strong here is Bogdanovic. I like this dude. He's it's over 16.5, -105. You could probably get to 15.5 and lay the juice if you want, but it fits right in the, under that 110 that I'm looking for, 110 or under. He's averaged 22.5 points his last 3 meetings versus OKC. but you can really kind of pick and choose who you want to get off on this Utah team against a team that's just not on the same level as the Jazz. So I don't know if I'll go to the window with it, but I do like Bogdanovic. This game is somewhat close to easily have, anywhere from 18 to 22 points very easily. But definitely could look and see Thunder, out down by 25 in the fourth.
Yeah, that's going to be the concern with any prop, especially Jazz props. The blowout factor. Quinn Snyder gets his starters off the floor early in the game. It's always the concern with the props. Trot Wham, anything here?
Yeah, this is a blowout scenario, so it is the props there. That's the way I was looking here. I was looking at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander points, rebounds, and assists over 28.5. I did take it as a small play, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make that official just because I don't think I want to put no more money on it because of the blowout factor there. But another prop there is the Royce O'Neal over 1.5 3-pointers, man. Why is that going to stop happening, man? Well, I think he's going to at least get 4 or 5 attempts. He's shooting at 50% since he came out the playoffs. I mean, I think that's probably still a good look. So that's probably the way I'll be betting here. But again, I think the blowout factor is kind of even Royce O'Neal might sit, bro, because they blowing him out. So it's kind of scary, bro.
Yeah, in the infancy of this great show, this great institution, the Pub Hub, last year in the playoffs when we got this format going, how many times do we cash Jazz and Royce O'Neal over threes and over points in the playoffs? I mean, it was unbelievable. So I actually wouldn't argue with that one bit. Now, I know it's regular season and it's a new season, but you're playing a bottom feeder. Why not Royce O'Neal over made threes and over points tonight? Speaking of points, should be some in this game, I think. Just a hunch. Sacramento and Portland. We've got Portland 6.5, 7-point home favorites, 234.5 the total. Chauncey Billups. Look, I think three of us are an upgraded coach from Terry Stotts, to be honest with you, for Portland. But the question is now: are we ready to lay 6.5, 7 with this group? And I do think Sacramento. I don't like that Walton's still around. He could screw this up like always, but I do think Sacramento is going to be an improved basketball team this year. There's things to like for the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, another year better. Ty Halliburton, another year more experience, should be better. That's a good backcourt, the two of those guys. And we know the Portland Trailblazers sometimes struggle defensively. They did last year. That's part of the reason why they made a coaching change. He never made that defense better. I think Billups is going to help in that regard, but there's still a team that, in terms of quality, elite defenders, there's not always they've got to just try to improve the group that they had last year defensively. It's not like they added a bunch of great defensive stalwarts on this team in the offseason. So we got to see it improve, and it's coaching. He's going to have to coach up this team, Billups, to be a better defensive team. I've got to see it before I believe it, so I'm not laying the points with Portland. I lean Sacramento, but more than anything, I like the over here. It's a high total, but I think it gets over 234.5. How many times do we talk overs with Skee and the entire crew last year with Sacramento? A lot of overs we took with them last year, and I'm taking one here tonight. Skee, Sacramento, Portland.
Yeah, it's hard to look at anything besides over as far as the total goes in this kind of a game. But the side, it just don't sit right with me for Portland to be -6.
Yeah, I agree.
They remind me real quick. Are they at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moda Center. Yeah.
So, and I just remember now, looking at their games last year, I remember that they were profitable against the spread on the road. They were a money burner at home. And it's because you get that discount when they're on the road as opposed to not at the house. And you're just not getting the discount to play the Blazers here. I don't want to expect them to win by margin. The Kings have a lot of talent, a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket. They're healthy right now. I don't want parts of playing 6 for Portland right now. So it will be Kings plus the 6 or the over for me.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it starting to hit 7. I'm a taker at 7, but plus 7. I'm putting something on Sacramento with that number. I'm going to dare Portland to, because I think the Sacramento team's got a whole hell of a lot of upside. They don't play great defense either, but in a game where it goes back and forth like a pinball with the scoring, you'd like to have the dog rather than the moderate favorite here. What do you think here, Dutch?
Yeah, it seems like the chat kind of likes Sacramento too. They like them. I seen a couple, maybe Blazers first half, but yeah, I could only look. I like the Blazers. Damian Lillard, probably my favorite player in the game. But he, day to day, man, Luka keeps taking over because more and more, man. I don't know about Dame's ass, man. He got to stay I'll keep that shit to myself. But yeah, Dame, I don't know. I know for one thing is Portland didn't get any better on the defensive end. I know they brought in Tony Snell off the fucking bench, and they got Larry Nance Jr. I'm telling you right now, this team is not better from a defensive aspect. Coaching ain't. You got to get some guys in there to play some fucking defense. Norman Powell, he can maybe step it up a little bit, but when your two best players on the team are not only not good defensive players, they're below fucking average defensive players. Like they're suspect in CJ McCollum and of course Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar, So when I look at this game, I could only look Sacramento with the points, and if you can give me a touchdown, I might have to go to the window with that. I definitely like the over. I like that over. Like I mentioned, trying to stay away from a lot of size and totals right now, strictly because I feel like I can attack the matchups from the props a lot better than all these questions with the teams. But Portland is almost the same team. They don't play no fucking defense. They're going to try to outscore you. The over is 5-0, I believe, in the last 5 meetings in Portland, and 4-0-1 in the last 5 meetings period against them. So they've been scoring of late. I look for that to continue. And what I really like, honestly, everyone's going to be expecting me to be on Dame. He had like plus 40 his last 2 times against them, but I'm not going there. I'm going the other way. I'm going to look for them to attack that backcourt, and I'm going De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 points. It's at -110. This is the most juice I will lay on a prop unless I'm just like fucking absolutely killing the market. But I love this play right here, 25.5. He's averaged 30.5 his last 2 meetings. When healthy, De'Aaron Fox, one of the top scoring guards in the league. Believe that. He's quick as a motherfucking whistle. He'll get right back. The last thing Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, or anybody on that fucking Blazers team is wanting to see De'Aaron Fox with the ball coming at him. Believe that. They don't want to see that. He'll get 30+ easy tonight. I expect this game to be probably the highest scoring game on the card. And I definitely like the over, and I would look the points, and we'll look for De'Aaron Fox to get 30+ and keep this game close. I don't know. I think Millsy said they're going to win. I don't know about that because Portland likes to keep it close and pull it out at home. Like, they win at home, but they don't cover. So that's what I expect to happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't even talk even Ty Halliburton, 13.5. He averaged 13 last year. He's going to be better, in my opinion, this year. And he's got a favorable matchup against a backcourt on the other side that doesn't play great defense. So
I also like I like that too. I also like Harrison Barnes. My bad, Ian. Harrison Barnes played well in the preseason. He's kind of coming around now. He's been there for a while. He's feeling settled. If he can't get over 14.5 points, nothing official, but believe he's going to get 15+ tonight.
Yeah, and this should be a competitive game. I mean, you obviously with the props, you want to avoid the blowouts. I think this is probably a very competitive game, so it should help in that regard with nobody sitting. Hopefully, that's the case because we've already saw it last night. Just send some of our props into oblivion, that damn Brooklyn game. But hopefully, we avoid those situations tonight. Trot Wham, what do you think here, Sacramento, Portland?
Yeah, the only way I would lean here is in the props perspective. It would be Tyrese Halliburton over 5.5 assists. I think he's going to be one of those guys that distribute the ball mostly for this team. It's going to be a lot of, not isolation plays coming from Fox, but just more downhill plays for him. So that's kind of how I would anticipate this being. And, I might not be betting on this game because I got a lot of action early on. So we'll just watch that shit play out. Might be betting later.
Yeah, and definitely should see good enough offense both sides in this one. So it should be a fun game. Lots of points expected. All right, final game, and this is a good one here. Denver Nuggets and Phoenix Suns. We've got the Suns 6-point home favorites right now, total 223 to 224, depending on where you look in this game. The Phoenix Suns it's a very interesting. This team looks very good once again. But the question remains when you go all the way to the NBA Finals and you get what you got from this group collectively last year, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, etc. Can they maintain it this year? Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton, it's the familiar same cast. And what I like is the continuity is there. Very close to the same type of team in terms of the roster that they had last year. So there's not a lot of chemistry issues right from the hop here in game one for Phoenix. But, it is a brand new season. It's a Denver Nuggets team that obviously will be playing without Jamal Murray for a large period of time. But Monte Morris is capable. He'll be playing with Will Barton, who's now healthy, which is good to see in the backcourt for the Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr., here's another guy. Good offense, not so much defense from him. Can he step it up at the other end of the floor? Aaron Gordon was kind of a disappointment for the Nuggets last year when he came over from the Magic. And then, of course, Nikola Jokic, the Joker, back once again. Should be a good ball game. I don't. I lean Phoenix. I don't know if I want to lay 6. I like the over a little bit here, 224. I don't know if the Suns defensively going to be that quite as good this year as they were last year. And when you look at these two teams in the playoffs, they often got up and down the floor, got their offense rolling. I would think this game's got a good chance maybe to go over 224. As far as props go, Mikal Bridges, I think, is a good prop tonight for the Suns. It's only 10.5, 11.5 points, depending on where you look. He's a guy that really stepped up his offensive game, and in particular when he played Denver last year, guys, Mikal Bridges played very, very well for the Phoenix Suns offensively. So that's a player prop that I'm looking at in that game. But it's a good national TV game on ESPN here to end the night tonight, Denver and Phoenix. What do you think here, Skee, with Nuggets and Suns?
Yeah, I just randomly thought about this right now, but didn't the Suns like embarrass the Nuggets in the playoffs?
They did, yeah.
Was it a sweep? Was it a sweep?
Suns and 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Suns and
4 guy. Suns and 4 guy.
You got the fucking hoodie on, bro. That's how you know
And by the way,
good.
all but one of them were by double digits. All but one of the victories were by double digits. They put it to Denver in that series. Yes.
Yeah, I remember, and I'm sure those guys remember too. So you're getting +6 for a team that got their ass whipped like they did. I just think to start the year, I think this is a game that have circles. So I probably just off of that take the 6 points. Maybe Aiden doesn't even want to play. He's not getting paid. Maybe you don't get the same effort from him. But
talk about it.
I lean towards maybe taking those points with Denver right now.
All right, leaning to Denver plus the points. All right, Dutch, Denver, Phoenix.
Yeah, I only could lick the Nuggets too. I think Pedro and R in there, they said they like the spicy nuggets. Yeah, I guess that's where I'll go to. I would lean the 6.5 with the Nuggets. I do like Phoenix, but I like me some Denver Nuggets, man. We talked about a little bit this in our pre-show. I think Gordon will be more settled. I do believe he will be more settled, having a full offseason with the team. They paid him, they want him there. He's gonna be nice. He'll be all right, but don't expect too much. Like, he is what he is, I mean, he could be a nice, solid piece to a good winning basketball team. And Michael Porter Jr. obviously has to take that next step and be consistently an 18, 20-point scorer. What we're going to get from the Joker, man. The guy's unreal. He's going to get close to a triple-double every game. He's going to get 20-plus points, have 10-plus rebounds, and he's going to do – and he's unselfish, which is a beautiful thing. But when I look at Denver, I think they can attack. I think the Phoenix got exploited a little bit last year. I harp on C3 a lot about his defensibility. He's the general, but from a defensive aspect, his ass is a liability. Yes, sir. So we're going Monte Morris over 16.5 points and assists. Now, this is even money. I really like this look, guys. I think he's going to be more in the offense. He's got the starting role now. We've seen him, play some more minutes last year. Campazzo's coming off the bench. Now, Monte knows it's his show until Murray comes back, and Monte will still be a big piece, obviously, when Murray comes back. But he's a starting point guard for the next until Christmas, for sure. Believe that. So last 2 meetings he had on the court, he played against Phoenix. He averaged 20 points and 5.5 assists. I just look for him to run the show. We know it's going to run through Joker, but Monte is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. I think this is going to be easy. I look for him to get this just by the points, but we'll do this kind of juiced up at 11.5 on his points, minus 125 or 35. Like I mentioned, I'm not laying that, but that's a good number. I mean, 11.5 is easy for Monte Morris is pretty much what I'm saying. But we'll take the points and assists at 16.5 at even money. That's all day.
Yeah, you're probably not going to see, someone's asking in the chat, you're not seeing Jamal Murray back after the All-Star break, I think that's probably what we're looking
March,
at.
something shit.
Exactly. That's what we're looking at. Back half of the regular season is when we can expect Jamal Murray. But don't sleep on Monte Morris. He's no slouch. He's a good player. And they can tread water through the regular season, I think, with him.
And I go on about Denver, but that's my look for, today.
Yeah, absolutely. Trot Wham, what do you think here with the Nuggets and the Suns?
Let's complete this, guys. Let's complete this, man. I'm right there with you guys. I'm on the Nuggets here. I'm on the Nuggets early, though. We talked about it in our pre-show that what I like as far as betting is the Denver Nuggets first quarter, man. They were a great team last year. Pretty much had the same team. My guy Skee did bring up. He has the revenge factor there. A lot of those guys were injured last time. Barton was still not all the way 100%. He'll be playing here, looking a lot better. Monte Morris wasn't even playing at all like that. If he was out there, he was really hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it was really bad for them. And it was just Jokic. So Jokic should still play well. He is getting skinnier, man. He's slimming down. Jokic, man. He might be able to run a little faster
More minutes.
now. I don't know. Bro. But yeah, bro. I like Denver Nuggets first quarter. Took them at plus 130, man. That's the way I'm looking at it, bro.
All right, first quarter for the Denver Nuggets for
money line.
in this game. I ragged on Campazzo and his defense last year, but he made some big buckets too for Denver, and he's actually a good offensive guard too. You'll get him off the bench tonight. Facundo Campazzo.
Yeah, I mean, as a backup guard, that's nothing to sneeze at, you know.
No, absolutely. He's definitely good offensively and he gave them good minutes, good production in a reserve role for the Nuggets, and you'll probably see him off the bench tonight. Great stuff, great show with everybody. 11 games. Look at that, 11 games in less than 90 minutes. How about that for efficiency with TROT, with Skee, and with Dutch. Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining. 247 live viewers. We love it. Hit the like button.
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate it. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We will get to our best bets to wrap up, put a bow on this edition of the NBA Pub Hub in just a second. But first, we'll pause for messages from Manscaped Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke at Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped promo code PubSports, the new and improved Lawnmower 4.0, and any Manscaped product available on the site, and with 20% off your purchase by using the promo code PubSports. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Of course, football season, lots left. Hockey's here, basketball's here, college basketball in a couple weeks, baseball playoffs still going. Great time of year. Sign up for an account at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it is time for that time of the show. I'll throw out, I like the over in both the hockey games tonight. Bruins, Flyers, Blues, and Golden Knights. There you go. A couple puck picks. Best bet time for this Wednesday NBA card, the first big card of the NBA season. 11 games to choose from. Best bets, Skee Profit. We'll start with you. What do you like for best bet?
You were good.
Yeah, you muted and moved back. Yeah, good.
My bad. I was peeking at the Astros game. Just didn't want y'all to hear the thing I'm listening to over here. But 1-0 Astros. They just homered. My best bet for today.
I got the over there, so keep
who homered, bro? If I may ask.
I want to say it was Altuve.
Oh, nice.
No. My bad. It wasn't. Sorry to get you excited. It was Alvarez.
You were done.
Ooh, it's all good.
I didn't mean to get you excited.
No, I had the Altuve holder from like, oh, there it is.
All right, best bet. Like I said, I'm gonna stick to totals, man. It's going against me as far as line moves go. I think you can even get maybe 219 now, but I got under 218.5 between the Grizzlies and the Cavaliers as my best bet.
All right, there you go. And because it's we'll give you 219. There are 219s out there. So Cleveland, Memphis under 219. Best bet for Skee. Dutch, what do you got for us? Best bet.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. I'm gonna go with where I think De'Aaron Fox. Man, I gotta get De'Aaron Fox. I think he's gonna get easily 25.5. I was just gonna be this or the Monte Morris look, because I really do like that look at even money 16.5 points and assists. But yeah, we'll go De'Aaron Fox. I look for him to attack all games, trying to be that all-star there in Sacramento. You know, show out for Sacramento. But yeah, he'll be a king tonight. De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 minus 110. Lock and loaded, man. Good money.
There you go. The freshest look from Dutch right there. Yeah, I lean Coastal. I lean over in that football game against App State, but they're just light opinions for me in the college game tonight. Those people wondering in the chat. Trot Wham, what do you got for us for best bet?
Best bet, I'll go with the Celtics, man. I think the Celtics pull it off here.
Uh-oh.
I just like them coming here. Plus money spot. Got them at plus 112. You could get them at plus 110, plus I think plus 115 even at some places, but might be restricted there. But that's what I'm riding with, man. Celtics money line.
That's going to keep me off of it, my man. That's going to keep me off of it.
All right, Celtics. There you go. Money line against the Knicks. Best bet for Trot Wham tonight. And I'm going to go with the for you would think laying points with a team that's wasn't great last year, but they played their best ball down the stretch, and I think they are playing an absolute bottom feeder tonight. I'm taking Minnesota minus 6.5 against Houston. I'm high on the Timberwolves coming into this year. I think the Rockets are one of the worst teams going in the NBA. We lay the points. We get a double-digit win, I think, tonight for Minnesota. Minus 6.5. T-Wolves over the Rockets. That is going to be my best bet for this Wednesday.
Yeah.
NBA
They got that new coach. That's what it was. They started playing better when they got the new coach, I think.
Chris Finch. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. That's when the change happened. And I think the Timberwolves will home opener and drill a team that got blown out repeatedly down the stretch last year. So Minnesota minus 6.5 for my best bet. And also, by the way, 4-0 with the best bets yesterday and the very first night of the NBA season. So we've got lofty standards now.
That motherfucker going.
Yeah, we've got high standards now. We got to keep it going tonight, hopefully, with the best bets here on the Wednesday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Up. Absolutely fantastic show. We can't do it without you guys in the chat tuning in and supporting. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. For Trot Wham, Dutch, and Skee Profit, I'm Ian Cameron. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Me, Trot Wham, Dutch, and Billy Briz will be with you tomorrow, breaking down the Thursday NBA card. Enjoy the games and good luck, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on the Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the real ones. Everybody in the chat, muchly appreciated. Be sure to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Share this motherfucking video with all your friends and fam. We're going in. Shit, we already winning 11 motherfucking games. We're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah.